Welcome back to the channel, everybody. As you know, Black Widow is soon to hit theaters this Friday, as a matter of fact, so let's get really excited about it. We're going to talk about some of the action figures. Oh, by the way, if you're watching this in rerun and it's like a month or 2 months ago, the Black Widow hit theaters a month or 2 months ago. So if you haven't seen it yet, catch it. But anyway, so we just wanted to cover both bases depending on when you were watching this video. But anyways, a year ago when the movie was set to come out, they had this version of the Black Widow. This is the one that you've seen in a lot of the trailers where she's in her white outfit, and I think that's pretty cool. They had the Yelena Belova figure or whatever, and it was in kind of the same outfit. I did not pick that one up for some reason. I don't know. I probably will, but I think I was waiting for that one to go on clearance too. But this... Okay, and with the coming of the movie, we want to take a look at the Red Guardian and this Black Widow figure, which are both part of the Crimson Dynamo Build-A-Figure wave. Now, there are many other figures to collect to be able to build that Dynamo, and these are pretty much the only ones I got. So I only got 2 parts so far, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to get some more. But the cool thing about this is, in addition to these 2 figures, we're going to have this double pack of the Black Widow, which is the Red Guardian and Melina. So we know Melina, right, from the comics, was the Iron Maiden. And she was an assassin that worked, or an agent of the Russian government. She was forced to live in the shadows of the Black Widow and kind of became resentful of her. So it's interesting to see how this family dynamic that they're portraying in the trailers is going to play out, because in the comics she's very resentful and eventually becomes like this other assassin on her own. So we'll see kind of how that develops. And the other interesting part too is when we read, this is Alexei, and he is the second version of the Red Guardian from the comics. So the interesting part here is he was chosen in the 50s during the Cold War to be the agent, to wear the colors of the Russian flag, and to be that agent to take over. And in the comics, he was married to the Black Widow. So that's going to be a very interesting dynamic. So the one thing that I did notice about these 2 figures right off the bat is that these faces on the Red Guardian look very, very different. So we're going to open all these up and we're going to start going through these figures. So I got these figures out of the package, and the first thing I'm going to do, I got the Crimson Dynamo pieces here, and I'm just set them aside. This figure right here comes with the 2 guns, 2 extra fists, and these 2 clubs. The Melina figure comes with this grappling hook, these 2 clubs, and 4 extra hands, 2 fists and 2 more open hands. This Red Guardian figure comes with this extra head, which is the unmasked head, these 2 grabbing hands. I'm going to push those off to the side. And this really cool action figure of the Red Guardian. Now, isn't that the coolest thing? Now, I know we've seen these like little mini figures and stuff, the smallest figures in the world. But this is actually pretty small. It reminds me of when you get the Ant-Man in the package with Ant-Man, so you can have a really tiny version of him. Now, he doesn't have any real articulation whatsoever, but that is totally fine because it's just basically a prop piece. So, I'm going to pull this Black Widow up. We've all seen this Black Widow. I know there's like a bunch of reviews on it. And here's this Black Widow right here, which is the part of the Dynamo Build-A-Figure, and she's in black. Now, the thing with this figure is it looks really cool. It's got exactly the same head sculpt as this one. I don't think there's that much difference to it at all. The paint apps are a little bit different, so I don't know if she's supposed to be a little bit younger or if it's or what the deal is, but I mean, that's exactly the same hairdo. The hair is slightly a different shade of red, so it could be a little bit different, but pretty much identical in every way. So here's the thing. So if you look at this white outfit, you can see that she's got these parts here that are uneven. It's exactly the same as these stripes here that just happen to be painted black. And then the big difference is she has this extra molded piece that's like attached right here, and this one doesn't have that, but she's got exactly the same collar. So you turn it to the side, you can see that obviously those shoulders are exactly the same. Right down to the marks on the back, they're the same. So unfortunately, besides having this little molded piece right here, which is probably like some sort of a parachute or jetpack or whatever it's going to be, and this part that's part of that molded on, these are pretty much identical figures. And we want to look at the Melina figure. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you the face sculpt on that, because that is a pretty good representation of the actress, Rachel Weisz. I think it actually looks really, really good. But then once again, if you just compare these two figures, right down to where the zipper on the shirt is, where the collars begin, this once again is exactly the same figure, right? With the, I mean, identical. The only difference on this one is the, of course, well, not even these straps. It's just this backpack, because I just realized she's got these same straps there. So it's really just the backpack and this paint application on the shoulder pads and on the glove, but the hands are pretty much identical because she still has that thing on the glove. And on the knee pads. So pretty much these figures are pretty identical, so it's pretty good for Hasbro, right? 3 figures that they've gotten me to purchase, and all they had to do on this one was change the head. And all they had to do on that one was repaint it. But anyways, this is pretty good to get Melina in an action figure, even though it's Rachel Weisz's character, and I'm curious to see how they portray the character in the film. Now, I know that there was some speculation a while back on our live stream about who potentially she could be, because, you know, she does go off to be the assassin, and she is envious or has some hatred for the Black Widow. So does she end up becoming the Taskmaster, and we just don't know it? We'll have to wait and see. So anyways, here are the, well, let's look at this guy first. So this is the face sculpt for the David Harbour, the actor. I think that looks pretty good. I'm looking at some of the details here, and I really like these detailing pieces here. You look at this belt. This is not molded on, but it is a separate belt, so it's kind of nice. It'll have some movement, and I think it looks pretty good. And that head sculpt with the mask just looks really cool. I mean, come on. That just looks awesome. And I'm almost thinking, like, if you had to pick one, this double pack is the way to go, because you get the both heads. But then I was like thinking, like, okay, so are there going to be differences? So here's Harbour like that, and here's the Dynamo like that. And does this one look like he's heavier, maybe? I don't know. It's hard to tell, right? Maybe a little bit, like he's bigger here. So what I'm thinking, because of the beard and the coloration of the hair, is this like a time difference? Like, one is like going to be him in the past, maybe when he's becoming the Red Guardian, so we get a little bit of his origin story. And then this other one is him nowadays, when he's like a little bit bigger and a little bit older. And let's get that one in here. Yeah, look at that. Obviously, I think that's what the case is going to be, because if you look at that, that is Harbour. That is his older look on it. And there you have it. Those are the two guys sitting next to each other. So yeah, there's definitely going to be some like time twists in here. Or not a time twist, but like flashbacks. And you're going to have that Red Guardian older, Red Guardian younger. And I think it totally makes sense now why they did that, where they released a double pack. And they also had the original Red Guardian. Now, what would have been cool is to get this guy with a cowl. So with this shorter beard and this cowl like that would have been like really, really cool to have both of those looks, and they could pretty much face off with each other. All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate you checking out the video, and have fun watching Black Widow in theaters this Friday or 2 months ago, whenever you're watching this video. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a great day.